Hi everybody, this is Catherine St-Pierre at Physikinaction. We're going to make some protein pancakes. We've been practicing making different ones, and finally we found something that is pretty much what we like to eat. It's close enough to an actual pancake that it's good to eat. We're going to be using protein powder. The one I prefer to use is the Isoflex vanilla. The reason I prefer this one is because it has high protein content per scoop and not too many calories. The flavor doesn't taste so much like chalky protein. So we're using this, and you can modify this, but it took us about 10 different batches before we got it to something that tastes really good. What you got to remember is this is only good for 2 people. So if you want to double it up, but don't try anything in between, because we tried that. It was very difficult. It's going to make a pancake about this big, and it's going to make 4 to 6 depending on how it spreads in the pan. So let's get started. We're going to start with 1 scoop of protein. If you really wanted to make it more protein, you could. You may have to adjust in consequence because the flavor will be a little lacking. So we're using 1 full scoop. And I'm just going to put this away because it takes a lot of room. We're going to be using, initially we were working with the scoop, so we knew exactly what we were doing. It's 3 scoops, which happens to be 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal. We're using big flakes. If you don't like the texture, you can go with the smaller flakes. However, the smaller flakes, because they've been processed a little bit more, tend to be a little bit less healthy for you. If you wanted to use the stone mill ones, you'd have to cook them first, and you won't be able to put them in your pancake. Okay, so we're adding that. We're adding 1 scoop of egg whites. So we're adding a little bit more protein here. We tried with a full egg. It wasn't so good. It's actually nicer with the egg white, and it comes out to about 1/3 of a cup. We added applesauce. We like this one. It's pomegranate. You can have blueberry, you can have plain applesauce, whatever. This is for texture. It gives it a bit of the juice because we're not adding any milk. This is best pancakes you can make. It's about 1/3 of a cup if you have it like in a big jar. We're adding 4 large strawberries. We've tried with blueberries. They bust in the plate, so it's really yummy. But the strawberries we've actually tried and are better in this mixture. So 4 large strawberries. And we're going to be using a dash of cinnamon. I'm going to stir that up. You don't want this liquidy. You want this thick. We've tried. If it's too liquidy, it won't hold in the pan. It'll just fall apart. So you want it to be almost like a cookie dough kind of thickness. And your oatmeal, if you leave it in there, will soak up some of the juices. So you could actually let it sit for a bit if you wanted to. We're used to having it now, so we pretty much know what we're expecting. And we're gonna start heating up our pan. And once that's warm, you want it not on a high heat, you want it more like a medium heat so we don't burn. The fruit and the sugar from the protein and all this is gonna make it so it comes a little bit caramelized. So we're gonna let it heat up at low temperature, medium low, and then we'll increase it. So there you have it. This batch is going to make you 4 to 6 pancakes. We prefer keeping them a little bit smaller because they stay together, so it's a little easier to, flip over. and it's gonna make about 45 grams of protein in total. So if you split it up into 2 even shares, you're gonna have about 22 grams of protein in one meal. You can double this up if there's more people to feed. If you're alone, hope you're hungry. Remember that you should not eat more than 45 grams of protein per meal. It's just gonna go through straight pipe, so you're not gonna be absorbing any of it. So make sure that you enjoy your meals. Have fun with them, change it up, and you're gonna have some breakfast, lunch, or dinner. In our case, we're having dinner right now.